One, two, three.
Hello, puzzle pieces. My name is Bree. Welcome to Everything Spiritual. And today we are going to be diving into my first encounter with Papa Legba. I'm not sure if Spirit wanted me to get this information out or tell this story, because when I first tried to record, the weirdest thing happened. Like, my light just shattered. And I've been here for almost 2 years and this has never happened to me. So if you're not familiar with Papa Legba, he is a deity, Loa, gatekeeper of crossroads. Some may even call him a trickster. People call on him for blessings. He's also used in rituals. Offerings include cigars, candy, coffee. Many people have had their own experiences with Papa Legba, some negative. There are warnings not to do deals with him because he is a trickster. I've also heard stories about people dying because they saw Papa. I'm not sure how true those stories are, but there are many people that have had very positive experiences with Papa Legba. Great blessings. I've heard that he's changed people's lives for the better. You can see his character in the show American Horror Story, The Coven. You can also see characteristics of him in one of the characters in the movie The Princess and the Frog. By no way are these characteristics accurate, but I wanted to show you his mainstream look. Now for my experience. So for starters, I don't have a lot of knowledge regarding deities because I was never drawn to them. I'm very close with my spirit guides and the angels, and that's who I choose to work with. But I have encountered different deities along my journey that wanted to assist me. But that's a whole nother video. Today we are diving into my first encounter with Papa Legba. Well, this happened maybe 8 or 9 months ago. And I have kids, and kids being kids, they ended up breaking something in their room. I'm not sure if it was their game system or the Roku, but they weren't able to watch their cartoon shows and the movies that they enjoy watching so much. So I allowed them to come in my room for a while to watch whatever they wanted to watch. And I worked crazy hours, so I decided to go in their room and take a nap. Well, as I was sleeping, something woke me up. I'm not sure what woke me up because I didn't hear a noise. I just woke up. Well, when I opened my eyes, I looked to my left and there was Papa Legba sitting at my bedside. And he didn't say anything. He was just looking at me and we were just looking at each other. But intuitively, it's like we were connected because I knew what he wanted from me. He didn't have to say anything. I just knew what he wanted from me. So we were looking at each other for a while. And as we were looking at each other, all of a sudden his head just slowly turned. And intuitively, I just followed. He didn't have to tell me to follow his head. Intuitively, I just followed the direction that he was going. So as he was turning, I was slowly turning. And I just couldn't believe what I saw when we stopped. My body was levitating. I saw my body floating above me. And I was laid on my back, and it was like I was laying down, but I was floating. And I just couldn't believe it. And as I was looking around the room, everything looked the same. I was in the bed, but my body was floating above me. And I'm just thinking to myself, how is this possible? As I was looking at my body floating above me, I started hearing voices, but there was muffled voices. Like, I couldn't really make out what they were saying, but it seemed to be maybe 5 or more people with the voices. And not only did I hear muffled voices, I started like feeling people touching and working on my chest area. I was so spooked out that I'm not even sure how. I just hopped out of the bed and ran out of the room. I hopped out the bed, ran out of the room, straight to my room with my kids. So after I had a moment to calm down, I finally reflected on the entire situation, and it just made me think about my journey, self-love, and I just learned a really big lesson. So anyone that knows me and that's really close to me, friends and family, they know that I love to joke. I am a jokester. And I would always say that they would know if I came across a large sum of money. And they would always say, well, how would we know that you came across a large sum of money? And I would always say that you would know that I came across a lot of money because I would have some really huge yabos. I'm talking Dolly Parton, WWF diva, Trish Stratus. I'm talking about the back in the day, huge yabos. So, you know, but I'm way past that, but that's just a joke that I would always say because, you know, I'm a part of the itty bitty yabo committee. And I'm a jokester. I like to make light of everything. And so that's something that I would always joke about. With that being said, it made me think back to a scene in the American Horror Story show, The Coven, when Fiona was asking Marie, how can she contact Papa Legba? And Marie responded by saying, if you want something bad enough, Papa will hear you.
Does he still come to you? Mm-hmm. Once a year. What does he want? You asking for him to come and see you? Because the thing about him is, if you want him bad enough, he'll hear you.
As a disclaimer, as I was mentioning earlier, I'm not very knowledgeable regarding deities, but I have had certain encounters. I'm not completely sure if that was even Papa that came to me that night, but it was definitely quite a spooky experience, but nothing is never wasted. It just really made me love myself a lot more, and I definitely found the lesson in the whole thing. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Please like, comment, subscribe. There will definitely be more stories like this and so much more, and I will see you guys next time.